Alrighty then. I picked up this old steam engine at a hobby store in their junk bin for $29.99. All it said was for parts or play. I'm guessing parts or repair. But it's made in Japan. And boy, is it heavy. Let's get this stuff out of here. So I'm working under the assumption that it completely doesn't work. It's all die cast. And it does say Tokyo, Japan, right under that truck there. So whatever that means. And now the trailing truck also says Tokyo, Japan. I'll break out a magnifying glass and see if I can see anything else. But right now, let's take it over to the bench and see if we get anything out of this at all. Alright, we have it set up in this little cradle. My cradle here is an old Lionel tender. It's been beat to shit. So, I'm going to guess to apply DC power to this, turn our transformer on, we're going to touch the drawbar and the chassis, and we're going to see what happens here. Give it about 3/4 of some power here. Nothing. 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 Nope. Nothing's happening. So, what do you say we get inside here and see why nothing's happening? Let's do it. Alright, so far I got the bottom plate off, and I'm still working on getting access to the motor. You see some crud in here, but I did manage to get this freed up, which is a good thing. There's no binding in the transmission, so let's keep moving on here. I have access to the motor. It's loose. Let's go put some power on it. Alright, put this back down in our cradle here. And let's see what we can find here. Some power to these leads here. And, yeah. Let's see what we got here. Just hang this over the side for now. And let's see if we get anything. Oh, looks like it wanted to do something. I don't know. Oh, looks like the light is lighting up on the locomotive. So what do you say we turn this power off here? The light is lighting up. So what do you say we clean that commutator up, which looks black, and let's clean those brushes up too. Alright, let's take a look at that commutator in there. It's pretty black. Let's see if we can clean that up and see if it brings this motor back to life. Hopefully that the coil is not all burned up. But let's have a look. I just took the entire brush assembly off. Take a good look at that commutator. I really don't know if we can clean that up, but we're going to try. It's looking much better now. Now what I want to do is I want to take one of these dental plackers, and I like to run this down these poles, between these poles here, get this crud out, because that will cause a short. You see that dirt? Well, some of that dirt is conductive, so you don't want that. And you want to move away from your coils, your motor windings. Five-pole motor. This thing should run really well if it runs at all. One thing I am going to do though, I'm going to take a good look at these windings to see if all the solders are still in good shape here. They seem to be. Don't see anything broken or loose. But our armature is looking much better. So this is an oiler right here, and I wonder, is that an advantage or a disadvantage? Because there was a lot of crud on that commutator. I wonder if it comes from that oiler sponge going right down into that motor. But it does sit on an angle like so to engage the transmission. Anyway, I'm going to clean those brushes up and put that plate back on. But I first want to polish this area. This is where the brush plate sits. I'm going to take some 1000 grit sandpaper to that. I got that polished up pretty good. I'll finish wiping this down, and maybe I will take some 1000 grit to these outer coils too. Being careful to stay away from our windings. Alright, we got this brush spring polished up too because it was green. So we got all that oxide off of there too. So the things we're doing to this motor, if it doesn't run after this, then it's a dead motor. Alright, this is a moment of truth. Let's see what we get. I got the power supply already turned up. I got my 2 leads here. Cross your fingers. Whoa, there we go. Come on, we get a steady on this. A lot of torque. Wow. It's like Christmas. Now, we're going to finish cleaning this engine up and doing some lube, putting her back together. Alright, I got that gear and those wheel shafts all cleaned up and oiled, and I oiled all the linkage here. And I'm going to re-grease that brass gear. Brass gear, by the way. There is no plastic on this thing from what I can see. None. Even the worm drive is brass. So, when I'm coming up with the soft metals, because brass is basically a softer metal, I'm going to use some anti-wear grease, and I'll show you what that is. This is the anti-wear grease. It's very thick and very expensive grease, but it's great for softer metals that are under friction. That's what we're going to be applying to that gear. And I'm going to use a new dental pick, as you can see right there, to apply it in the teeth of that gear. You don't need a lot because this stuff is sticky, but it's also a lube. So, something about like that there. Can you focus there? Can you see that? I don't know what's going on there. There. And we'll apply it to the teeth of these gears here. So I polished up my brass bell. I washed the body. I attempted to polish my steam whistle there. But look at how much that cleaned up. Wow, that's amazing. It's going to be a handsome engine when it's done. So let's keep moving. This is very heavy, by the way. These are bolted on. See the little screw there? I saw a screw coming through the side there. This is also screwed on. There's a screw right in there holding on. Well made. Look at these lines. What? Right here. It's amazing. Alright, I have this little engine in a makeshift cradle, and we're going to apply power to see how our drive works. So let's do it. Nice. Try a different direction. Well, I got her running and she's running good, but in the process, her side linkage was breaking. As soon as it started moving, it started shattering. This is old cast. See if you can see that. It's just shattering. It's not holding up, has no integrity left. As soon as I started to apply power, this stuff started to shatter. The old light bulb, the wire started to break. So I strip it a little bit and it would break again. So there is no light. Alright, let's not cry over spilled milk. What do you say we take this thing upstairs, put it on a track, and see how it performs? Well, I must say, I ran it for about 45 minutes straight, and wow, this little thing didn't even get warm. So it tells me that it is running as it should. And again, I don't know who manufactures this. All it says is Tokyo, Japan there. And Tokyo, Japan, right inside those trucks, if you look there. So, but this is all die cast. Looks to be like stainless or nickel drivers. And those wheels look brass, but I can't be sure of that. But yeah, didn't even get warm, which tells me that everything's working as it should. And boy, what a good little runner. So yeah, and again, I don't know what I'm going to do with these linkage parts, but this is the one that snapped right here. I glued it right there, but that's not going to hold. That's a stress part. So unless I can manufacture one of them, but this is a cheap, I don't know if it's cheap, but the zinc cast that they use, the material, it's not holding up over time. So that's what's going on there. But obviously, I have the parts. I just took this entire section off, so I didn't do any more damage to it. So luckily for me, there was a single screw and a key that held it into place. So I will set those aside and decide later what I'm going to do with that. So anyway, good little runner. So yeah. Thanks for watching my videos. Hollow Wolf out.